arts. So it's got the decorative base, stack of floors, decorative top. It's now the home of the London House Hotel, which is a boutique hotel that got its name from a jazz club that used to be in there. Now you got on the boat at the base of the Wrigley Building, also in that Beaux-Arts style. So it's got that decorative base, stack of floors, decorative top. It's got 6 different shades of glazed white terracotta, starting off with the darkest terracotta on the bottom, working its way up to the lightest at the top, which some people say was inspired by sticks of chewing gum, because it was, at one point in time, home to Wrigley Chewing Gum Company. They sold the building several years ago, then it was purchased in the summer of 2018 by a local billionaire for $255 million. So now we're going to go down the main branch of the Chicago River, turn around to what's known as the Junction, go back down the main branch, out through the Chicago Harbor Lock, onto Lake Michigan. Most of the tour is going to take place on the right-hand side in the direction of travel. I'll let you know when that's not the case. Then we have Trump International Hotel and Tower, completed in 2009. It is the second tallest building in the city of Chicago, the 6th tallest in the United States of America. It was 1,362 feet tall with its spire. The architects are Skidmore, Owings & Merrill. The lead architect is Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith is also the lead architect for the tallest building in the world. Does anybody know what the tallest building in the world is? It's in Dubai. It's Burj Khalifa. If you want a sense of how tall the tallest building in the world is, look up to the top of Trump and double that. Yeah. Next to that, we've got this black steel skyscraper. It's the American Medical Association building. It's architecturally significant insofar as it's Mies van der Rohe's final building. He died in '69, this was completed in '71. Mies van der Rohe is an international architect who moved here from Germany to teach architecture at the Illinois Institute of Technology, and brought with him what's known as the international style of architecture, which is defined by rejecting all non-essential ornamentation. Mies's philosophy was, less is more. Now, Adrian Smith thought this is one of Mies's best buildings, so he designed the facade on Trump International Hotel and Tower to complement the facade on the AMA. Because he moved here to teach architecture, you're going to see a very strong Miesian influence throughout Chicago. A lot of international style buildings. Ironically, Bertrand Goldberg, architect of the Marina City Towers, we call them corncob buildings. Goldberg was a student of Van der Rohe's. He clearly rejected the international style. His philosophy was there are no right angles in nature, so there shouldn't be any right angles in architecture. A lot of people are very curious as to how these buildings are constructed. Think of a flower. The elevator is the stem, and each condo is a pie-shaped petal. And they really are pie-shaped. The narrowest part.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
1.5 pieces of pie is a 1-bedroom. 2 pieces of pie is a 2-bedroom. Pie-shaped condos make for very interesting interior design choices. It was completed in 1967. And in the 60s, people were moving from the city to the suburbs. So they had an idea for a city within a city. When Marina City Towers first opened, it had a movie theater, a bowling alley, a grocery store, a dry cleaner, a marina, a couple of restaurants, and a skating rink. Unfortunately, they had to close the skating rink a few years ago when someone accidentally skated over the edge. I'm kidding, that didn't really happen. There really was a skating rink, I just don't know why it closed. Now, you might recognize the movie from the movie Blues Brothers, or Hunter with Steve McQueen, or the Allstate ad where they drove the car into the river. Then we've got this blue glass building that's the American Bar Association building, completed in 1986. Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, the architects. Bruce Graham, the lead architect. Then we've got the Reed Murdoch Center. It's a red brick masonry constructed building. It's a converted warehouse. The original architect is George Nimitz. Nimitz is known for his industrial work. Now, if you're taking this tour in the early 1900s, all you'd be looking at is industrial buildings, because that was all that was there. Now, it is one of the few remaining left on the river. If you look up, there's a clock tower. Lots of clock towers in Chicago. Anybody want to know why? Believe it or not, in the early 1900s, not everyone could afford an iPhone. And how else are you going to know what time it is? I can't afford one now. They're like $1,000. Then we've got this blue-green glass building with the silver steel. 300 North LaSalle, completed in 2009. The architects have a card in Chilton, and it is LEED certified platinum. So LEED stands for leadership in energy and environmental design. Did somebody just throw something in the river? So, yeah, let's not throw things in the river. Platinum is the highest designation. You can get lots of different features that make it worth the platinum designation. And as a rooftop garden to mitigate rainfall, and it uses river water for its cooling system. So it takes the river water in, uses it to cool down the air conditioner, and then spits it out a degree or two warmer. It is one of about a dozen buildings on the river that use river water for its cooling system. Then we have the Merchandise Mart of Chicago, completed in 1931. The architects of Graham Anderson, Ferguson White. It's Art Deco, which is defined by having a limestone facade, strong vertical lines that dry your eye out, setbacks, and geometric ornamentation. It also is the second largest building in the United States of America, with number one being the Pentagon. It's got 8 miles of hallway. Now, it was originally built by Marshall Field to consolidate his warehouses. In 1945, he had a solid due to back taxes. Joseph P. Kennedy purchased it for $13 million. In 1998, Kennedy family sold it for $575 million. This is what you call a really good return on your investment. I'm glad it worked out for them. They did not sell a piece of property next to the Merchandise Mart. It was a parking lot. They didn't think it was ever going to be very valuable, so they were going to throw it in on the deal in 98, but the facilities manager convinced them they should allow it to it. And as you can see, they're developing. Now, West Point's an important area in Chicago's history. One of our first homesteads is here. Early 1800s, 66 people lived in West Point. They had a general store, a church, a post office, and 3 taverns, which is about on point for Chicago's cabin to population ratio. It was in one of those taverns where Chicago got its name. Somebody was trying to figure out what to call this area. They just decided to call it their version of what the Native Americans called it. The Native Americans called this area Chicago, which means stinky onion. Big Apple is a better nickname. Now we're turning the boat around. This marks the beginning of the Riverwalk. I'm going to tell you all about that in a minute. This green glass building, this is my favorite one during the day. It's called 333 West Wacker, completed in 1983. The architects are Cohn, Pedersen, and Fox. And it's in the style that we call contextualism. That's when the building's footprint pays homage to the topography of the land. So we've got a bend in the river, we've got a bend in the building. On the street side, it conforms to the grid. On the lighter note, it's where Ferris Bueller's Dad Road. Now, as I mentioned, it marks the beginning of the Riverwalk, which was completed in 2017, and allows you to walk all the way from 333 to Lake Michigan. People ask if there was a Riverwalk before, and the answer is yes. However, it wasn't very welcoming. It had an extremely narrow sidewalk. But what's worse than that, you couldn't walk under any of the bridges. So every time you came to a bridge, you'd have to go up the stairs, across the bridge, back down the stairs. That's a lot of work. So they added walkways underneath all of the bridges, and these silver things, they're called eyelashes. They keep you from getting hit in the head with debris. Now, Mayor Daley commissioned the Riverwalk about 15 years before it got complete, because it had always been the vision of the leadership of Chicago that the river would be the centerpiece of the city. I lived here then, and while I don't speak for all Chicagoans, I can safely say the vast majority of us did not have any interest in hanging out in the Chicago River. And if you had told us that on rainy days in Chicago, people would be walking their dogs along the Chicago River, we would have looked at you like you were nuts. But I work when it rains, and there's always at least one person walking along the Chicago River. On Valentine's Day, I saw someone stand up paddleboarding. I don't advise that for many, many reasons, the least of which is hypothermia. Now, once we get under the bridge, you're going to see a building with a white base and a stack of floors. It's glass and steel. That's 77 West Wacker, completed in 1990. Ricardo Bozo is the architect. And it is in a style that we call classical modernism. At the base, we've got arches, which we associate with classical Roman architecture. And then we've got the stack of floors, the glass and the steel. That's the modern element. And on the very, very top, there are pediments, which we associate with classical Greek architecture. Then we've got 55 West Wacker. The building looks like a hashtag. I read about a tour guide who specializes in ugly architecture in the city of Chicago, and he referred to this as the Danny DeVito of buildings. Then we've got the gray building with the silver things in the window. That's the Leo Burnett building, completed in 1989. Dinkley and Roach are the architects. And it's an award-winning building, designed to be a column within a column within a column. It's home to Leo Burnett Advertising Agency. Some of their campaigns include Tony the Tiger, Snap Crackle Pop, the Meow Mix song, and my personal favorite, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Now as we come underneath the bridge, we've got coming to view this Beaux-Arts style building called the Old Jewelers Building. It's got that decorative base, stack of floors, decorative top. On the very, very top there's a dome. In architectural terms, that dome is called a belvedere. And that was the home to the Stratosphere Lounge. Now a lot of people try to tell you that that's where Al Capone hung out. He was, however, already in jail by the time it opened. Then we've got this green Art Deco building with the gold spire on top. That is the Union Carbide and Carving Building, completed in 1928. The architects are the Burnham brothers, Daniel Burnham's sons, and it's said to be inspired by the New Year's Eve celebration when they opened a bottle of champagne, and that is their protest to Prohibition. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is 24 karat gold plated on top. And then this is our Vietnam Veterans Memorial right here. Along that wall is a plaque that lists the names of all of the fallen soldiers or residents of Illinois. Now we're going parallel to East Wacker Drive. And then there's lower East Wacker Drive. And there's lower East Wacker Drive. There's also north, south, and west Wacker Drives. If you're directionally challenged like myself, we recommend you avoid the Wacker Drives at all costs. Your GPS will prove to be unreliable. You will get lost most likely. And it's been described as a portal to disappointment. Now we're going to go on to the left side of the boat. Across the street from the Wrigley Building, which is where you got on the boat, is a neo-Gothic tower called the Tribune Tower, completed in 1925. The architects are Hood and Howells, and it's inspired by European cathedrals. If you look up there, flying buttresses. In European cathedrals, flying buttresses are load-bearing. The Tribune Tower, they are merely ornamental. Now the Tribune Company moved out, and the building is going condo. I was thinking about it for a little bit, but then my commute would be too short. And I used my commute to improve on my tour. Oh, and they range from 700,000 to 8 mil. Now next month they are opening in the building a ice cream museum. And it has this horrible sounding component called a sprinkle pool. Admittedly, I have no idea what a sprinkle pool is, but I do know that if I paid $8 million, I don't want one in my condo building. And then right here at the northeast branch, or the northeast base, that's where John Baptiste Pointe-de-Sable set up his trading post. Lake Michigan used to come all the way up to Michigan Avenue. Anything that's east of Michigan Avenue is landfill from the Great Chicago Fire. Now back onto the right, we've got this red brick building. Behind that is a white building with black vertical windows. It's the Aon Center. It's also been called the Standard Oil Building and the Amico Building. And it was originally clad in Italian Carrara marble, which is some of the most expensive marble in the world. It's what Michelangelo used. So to cut down on building costs, they cut it too thin, and it didn't hold up well during the Chicago winters. So they eventually had to take all the marble off and reclad the building in North Carolina granite. Cost them about $80 million, which just goes to show you can't take marble for granted. I don't tell that one very often, but I'm feeling bolder. It takes some stones. I have a whole slate of jokes. Okay, see this blue-green glass building with the white undulating balconies, that's Aqua, completed in 2009. The architect is Studio Gang, the lead architect is Genie Gang. And until 2020, that was the tallest building in the world, with a female architect as a lead architect. Now, you might wonder what replaced it. And I'll tell you that later, but right now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this body of water we're on called the Chicago River. We're going to be entering the Chicago Harbor Lock. I'm going to spend the next little bit of time setting up the who, what, when, where, why, how of the Chicago Harbor Lock. So you're going to want to pay attention now, or it is predictable that you'll be very confused in the foreseeable future, and I do not provide as detailed of an explanation the second time around. So we're on the Chicago River, which at its deepest point is 22 feet deep, and it used to flow into Lake Michigan, which was and is our source of drinking water. In the 1800s, we treated this river like a toilet. We used it to discard all of our industrial, animal, and human waste. You can Google pictures of chickens walking across the Chicago River. In 1885, we had a torrential rainstorm with very strong winds coming out of the west. The concern was that the river water was going to get blown 2 miles off the shores of Lake Michigan into our drinking water anyway. And then we would have a problem. Luckily, that didn't happen, but we knew we had to do something about our water. So we formed the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. Now, if you're not from Chicago, you might be hearing a really inspiring story and how we were pioneers in cleaning up our water. No, I'm going to tell you how we made our problem someone else's problem. Between the South Branch of the Chicago River and the Des Plaines River, there's a portage. We dug a canal 35 feet deep because gravity says water goes to the deepest point. We named it the Sanitation Ship with a P canal, and on January 2nd, 1900, we opened the canal and we reversed the flow of the Chicago River. So now it flows down the South Branch, down the canal, down the Des Plaines River, down the Illinois River, down the Mississippi River, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. We could take this boat to New Orleans if we wanted to, but I want to go home and sleep in my own bed with air conditioning. I digress. We got sued, first by St. Louis, because their source of drinking water was and is the Mississippi River, and they were concerned we were going to contaminate their drinking water. Unfortunately for them, the trial was found in Chicago, and they lost. But don't worry, they got even with us. They bottled up that gross, disgusting river water and sold it back to us in the form of Budweiser. We then got sued by Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin. They claimed we were drinking Lake Michigan. We lost that lawsuit, so the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District built the Chicago Harbor Lock. So the lock was built for one reason only, to regulate the amount of water that comes into the Chicago River from Lake Michigan. Now, because of the lock, Lake Michigan is a few feet higher than the Chicago River, so every time the lock opens, about 800,000 gallons of Lake Michigan water comes into the Chicago River. So this is what's going to happen. The Riverside Gate's going to open, the boat will go in, the Riverside Gate will close. The Lake Michigan side gate will open just a crack, and it will start to fill the lock chamber with water. So one way to think about the lock is to think of it as a giant bathtub, and the boat is the world's largest rubber ducky. So as the lock chamber fills with water, it's going to lift the boat up. When the boat is level with Lake Michigan, the gates will open wide and we'll go out onto Lake Michigan. It's the only way to get out of the lock chamber, out onto Lake Michigan. We're going to pause for a moment. We're going to go over to this black glass building on the left-hand side, Lake Point Tower Condominiums, completed in 1968. The architects are Shipwright and Heinrich. Now, first and foremost, if you go to Navy Pier, go there to get your cab or your Uber. You're going to save on the City of Chicago entertainment surcharge. Now, there's a rumor that Oprah Winfrey used to live in this building. Oprah never ever lived in the building. She might have started the rumor herself because she lived at Water Tower Place. If you look up, there's a disc-shaped portion of the building. It is a French restaurant called Cité. It does not rotate, but you get great views of the Cité. And across the street is Navy Pier. Built in 1916, it was originally called Municipal Pier Number 2. There never was a number 1. They were going to build that later on the south side. We decided we didn't want any commercial boating, so they moved everything and renamed it Navy Pier after World War I veterans. During World War II, there was a park. There was a naval training facility. Then it was University of Illinois at Navy Pier. Then it was active for about 30 years. In 1995, they had a $255 million renovation, and it's now one of the top tourist destinations in the state. So there's a lot to do at Navy Pier. We've got the Ferris wheel. The gondolas are enclosed and climate controlled. There's a Tony Award-winning Shakespeare theater. Lots of places to eat and drink at various price points, including Offshore, the largest rooftop bar in the United States of America. They opened the hotel about a year ago, and they have fireworks every Wednesday and Saturday, Memorial Day through Labor Day. There's also the Chicago Children's Museum. I've never been there, but I assume that it is displays of children through the ages. If not, it should be. Now, We're going to go into the lock for a couple of things. So it's ran by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. It's one of the busiest locks in the United States of America because this body of water, the Chicago River, is one of the busiest bodies of water in the United States of America. There's a locking priority. Number 1 goes to boats, government boats on an emergency run. Number 2 goes to commercial boats with passengers, that's us. Number 3 goes to commercial boats with cargo. And number 4 goes to everybody else. Just a couple things. It's federal property, so don't get off the boat because you're now trespassing on federal property, which is very pretty hefty fine and possible jail time. So I'm going to put the mic down for a little. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to pick up the mic when we get to the lighthouse. And I'm going to narrate for 6 minutes and 8 seconds, give or take. And then I'm going to shut up and be quiet until we get to the museum campus. Now we are aware that people want to take pictures, which is why I shut up for like a quick bit of time. But here's the thing, when we're out on the lake, it's a panoramic view. And if people are standing up, other people can't see through you, so you might be obstructing their view. So just be mindful of that. But there will be a good period of time when it's just, but no standing on the benches. And with that, I'm going to put the mic down. If you have any questions about anything so far, I am here to answer it.
And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on the right-hand side of the boat is the Chicago Harbor Lighthouse. It's the only lighthouse you're going to see today because it's the only lighthouse in the Chicago Harbor. Now, it's not manned. It was manned until the 1970s. In the 1970s, the United States Coast Guard decided it didn't want to pay to man lighthouses anymore. But we wanted to have a manned lighthouse because we're cool like that. So we found a guy. In Chicago, there's always a guy. And the guy they found was not only willing to man the lighthouse, but he was also willing to pay a nominal rent, which sounds like a really good deal for the city. However, the guy they found was a major party animal, and the Coast Guard kept getting calls complaining about drunk, naked people on the breakwell. I was dubious about this story, but I've now, in the course of being a tour guide, met 3 people who knew the guy. So what's a breakwell? See this stone structure? That's called a breakwell. It keeps from getting too choppy here in the harbor. Now, you're on Lake Michigan, which is the 3rd largest of the Great Lakes. So we've got Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. Homes. Now, see those structures out there on the horizon? Those 2 structures that look like carnival tents? Those are called water cribs. They are protective walls for our water filters. So, what it does is it takes the water in, pumps it 200 feet below the ground, so that building right there, the giant water filtration plant, serves about 3 million Chicagoans and 110 neighboring communities. Just as a reminder, we do ask that if you want to have any conversation, if you can go downstairs, I recommend the bow of the boat. You get all the great views. There's a couple chairs down there. Now we've got the black building with the flat roof and the 2 white antennas. That is 875 North Michigan. A lot of people still call it the John Hancock because they don't realize that the name changed. But it did change in 2018. Now, it's significant for a number of reasons. It was built in 1969. It was the first major skyscraper after the Empire State Building, and really the first major skyscraper after World War II. Now, Skid Rowington, Merrill, the architects, Bruce Graham is the lead architect, Dr. Fosler Kahn is the structural engineer, and he is considered the Albert Einstein of structural engineers. Now, a couple things that make it noteworthy. First of all, it was the first skyscraper to incorporate both commercial and residential, which is why it caters. Also, first skyscraper to use expressing. Now, they've been using expressing on bridges basically since the beginning of time, but this is the first skyscraper. To the south, or left of that, is a white building with a flat roof. That is Water Tower Place. The vertical shopping mall, as well as a 5-star hotel, luxury condominiums, and the Broadway Playhouse. American Girl is the anchor story. Now, if you go to the north, or right, the building that aspires, that's 900 North Michigan. We just call it the Bloomingdale Mall because it is Bloomingdale Mall. Bloomingdale is the anchor store. Also 5-star luxury hotel, as well as condominiums. Then we've got Ohio State Beach, only beach in the city of Chicago, where you can go to Bloomingdale, get your bathing suit, and then go to the beach. And then if you look, we've got these 2 black international style buildings right kind of in front of 875 with a lot of white shades. Those are Mies van der Rohe's very first buildings here in the city of Chicago. And they're on the National Register of Historic Places. And then if you go north, we've got Lincoln Park, home of Lincoln Park Zoo, one of our favorite zoos here in Chicago. I highly recommend it. Now there's the whole neighborhood, it's called Streeterville. It got its name from a colorful Chicagoan named Captain Streeter. He moved here after the Civil War to run a ferry boat between Chicago and Milwaukee. And one day it got stuck on a sandbar about where 875 North Michigan is. And it started to amass land. So it gathered its own region, said it didn't have to comply with any city or state laws, and turned it into a real city. Gambling, prostitution, it was all happening there. And they kept trying to evict him, and every time the cops showed up to evict Streeter, he greeted him with 2 things. A fake letter from Grover Cleveland saying he had the right to be there, and a shotgun. They finally got him on the same thing they had Al Capone on. Tax evasion. And with that, I'm going to put the mic down, and I will pick it up when we get to the south side of the harbor.
Why you never said you felt that way? I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. Trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Just as a reminder, again, if you do ask if you want to have any conversation, be it in person or on the phone, no matter how quiet you think you are, if you could please go downstairs. I recommend the boat. You're going to get all the great views. And your conversation won't get in the way of anybody else's concentration. We've got the museum campus over there. We've got the building with the dome, that's the Adler Planetarium, and then the Shedd Aquarium, Field Museum, and Soldier Field. The black building with the flat roof, that is the Willis Tower. It is the tallest building in the city of Chicago and the third tallest building in the United States of America. It is 1,454 feet tall. When it was completed in 1974, it was the tallest building in the world, and it remained the tallest building in the world for 24 years. Now, it was built to be the world headquarters for Sears. They actually sold the building and moved it to the suburbs in the 1990s. Not a lot of people realize they sold the building to the new owners, let us just keep calling it the Sears Tower for over a decade. After 9/11, people didn't want to work in skyscrapers anymore, let alone one of the tallest in the world. So as their leases expired, the tenants moved out, and the building had very low occupancy. So along came the Willis Insurance Group. They're an insurance company out of London. They were the brokerage company for the Titanic. They came along and they offered a way for the building to stay afloat. Just the tip of the iceberg. They're renting 3 floors in exchange for the Illinois. So they rent 3 floors. They don't own the building. They're not the principal tenant. The principal tenant is United Airlines with 25% of the building. Now I learned that United Airlines renegotiated their lease and they now have the naming rights option. So when Willis's lease is up, it could very likely become United Airlines Tower. Which is better because it is Chicago's hometown road. I mean, either way, my heart will go on. Oh yes, it's all coming back to me now. It's called the Willis Tower. That is the official name of the building. However, in Chicago we spell that S-E-A-R-S. Now, Skidmore, Owings & Merrill are the architects. Bruce Graham is the lead architect. Dr. Fazla Khan is a structural engineer, and he is considered to be the Albert Einstein of structural engineers. The building is made of what's called bundled tubular construction. So it's 9 75-foot boxes that are bundled together to allow for the height and protect from wind, making it a very, very strong building. That said, it does sway 18 inches in any direction on a windy day, which you wanted to do to avoid structural damage, like broken windows. But people who work there reported going to the bathroom on a windy day, and the toilet bowl water is just splashing away. Which some people think sounds gross. I, for one, live with a great toilet paper shortage of 2020, and will just appreciate a bidet any way I can get one. So now, we're going to talk about the Great Chicago Fire. So, we know the fire started in Mrs. O'Leary's barn. Legend has it Mrs. O'Leary went out to milk her cow. Her cow got a little excited, kicked over a lantern, and ended up burning down the entire city of Chicago. This was widely believed Mrs. O'Leary was hated and ran out of town. We later found out it was a made-up story by an out-of-town journalist, so they could sell more papers the next day. And in fact, in 1997, the City Council of Chicago voted to exonerate both Mrs. O'Leary and the cow. So what it really was a culmination of unfortunate circumstances. Chicago had been experiencing a drought. We had had about 1.5 inches of rain in 2 months. And in fact, the entire Great Lakes region was experiencing a drought. And there were fires throughout the fall in Chicago, including one the night before. So the firefighters were exhausted. Also doesn't help that everything in Chicago is made out of wood. Our streets, buildings, sidewalks, and bridges. And the fire started in the industrial part of town. which means warehouses. And in the path of the Great Chicago Fire, there was a warehouse that housed coal, and another one that housed matches. So it's hard to imagine, but Chicago, what you see when you see pictures of the West Coast wildfires. Luckily, it rained about 2 days later, and it extinguished the fire. We started to rebuild. We wanted to become a world-class city. We found out the World Columbian Exposition was coming to the United States of America. It was going to be the second World Fair held on American soil. We really, really wanted to host this fair. So we sent our very best politicians to Washington, D.C., and they allowed honest, above-board politicians you could ever hope to vote for. Twice. Now, the fair itself ended up becoming one of the single most important historic events in Chicago. They hired a firm called Burnham and Root to plan the fair. John Root died, so Daniel Burnham ended up planning entirely on his own, which is famously known as the White City. It was on the south side in Jackson Park. It was comprised of 250 temporary buildings that were made out of material a little bit like drywall. Daniel Burnham got so interested in city planning that he went on to be a city planner. And he planned many notorious or famous cities, most importantly his hometown of Chicago. And we are considered to be one of the best planned cities in the world. If you're enjoying our expansive boulevards, you can thank Daniel Burnham. The landscape architect was a guy named Frederick Law Olmsted. It's a bit of a rock star in architect circles. He designed Central Park, Prospect Park, the entire park system of Louisville, Kentucky, and the list goes on and on. Now, if you're not familiar with fairs, they were designed to highlight the greatest innovations of the day. What were the greatest innovations of 1893? Well, the previous World Fair had been held in Paris, and the centerpiece of the Paris Fair was the Eiffel Tower. Burnham and the gang, they wanted to out Eiffel. So they found a very instructional engineering marvel called the Ferris wheel. That's right, the very first Ferris wheel in the world was right here in Chicago. It was over 200 feet tall, made partially out of wood. It had 60 gondolas, which held roughly 100 people each, and it took 40 minutes to get around. Other innovations include juicy fruit gum, Cracker Jack, the zipper, a little thing called electricity. I think that stayed current. And Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Initially just called Pabst beer, they entered into a contest at the fair and it received a ribbon. So they renamed it Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, so we would all know they weren't award-winning beer. If you've ever had PBR, you might be wondering how bad is all the other beer is in form. There was a participation ribbon. All the beers got a ribbon. So the fair lasted for 6 months, 27 million people came, and it turned a profit. We decided to do it all over again in 1933 with a fair called the Century of Progress, which was held on what's known as the museum campus. And with that, we're going to go into the Chicago Harbor Lock, and I'll pick up the mic once we get on the river and complete the tour.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. The pain makes it real, I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and meal. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost, I feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel. Cause this drive it kills, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
This ain't love at first sight. 'Cause I know how this works, I got my ABCs right. Oh, so let's play pretend. Say you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me forever. I know this will end tonight, but you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me. It's been so long since I got so close to someone. I know this ain't love, but let me stay a while. And pull me closer tonight, keep holding my hand. I know this ain't love, but let me stay the night. I said let me stay a while. 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 I said let me stay a while.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
a degree to know this ain't love at first sight. 'Cause I know how this works, I got my ABCs right. Oh, so let's play pretend. Say you'll be the one for me. Say you'll be the one for me forever. I know this will end tonight.
All right.
But you'll be the one for me.
On the left-hand side, we've got this blue glass building. The kids on Reddit call it the Wiggly Building. Its real name is the St. Wright Regis of Chicago. And the architect is Studio Gang. The lead architect is TV Gang. And that is the tallest building in the world with a female architect as a lead architect. It is also, overall, the third tallest building in the city of Chicago. Now, if you look up to the 87th floor, it looks like it's not quite finished yet. That's called the blow-through floor. So, what it does is it works as a vent for the wind to go through so that the top of the building doesn't break off. Now, it is apartments, condos, hotel, retail space, and office space. Now right here we've got Centennial Fountain on the right hand side, built to celebrate 100 years of the formation of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. Now in the seawall there's a pyramid with a spigot. Every hour on the hour for 5 minutes it spits out an arch of water that goes all the way across the Chicago River. The idea being boats will be able to go underneath it and not get wet. That is not how gravity works. So it took me a really long time to really appreciate the irony of the fact that it was built to celebrate 100 years of the formation of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, which is an entity best known for reversing the flow of the Chicago River, which they did based on their understanding of gravity. And they have a fountain in their name, in their honor, designed by somebody who had no understanding of gravity. Now, coming to view across the street from the Tribune Tower is a building with a yellow ball on top. It's the Hotel Intercontinental, completed in 1919. Walter Oshweiger is the architect. In architectural terms, that yellow ball is called an onion dome, and that was the home to the Medina Men's Club. They're known for Arabic art. We don't get to see a lot of Arabic art here in Chicago, so if you want to check it out, there's a Starbucks in the lobby. Then we have the University of Chicago's downtown campus. It's a shorter building with the green glass and the silver steel. University of Chicago is a world-renowned university with its main campus in Hyde Park. The architect is Dirk Lohan, and he got a lot of criticism because there aren't any windows in the classrooms. To which Lohan responded, "Students will be paying attention here in class, not looking out the window." May have been onto something because they've over 90 Nobel Prize winners. If you remember anyone who went to school there, they'll let you know that it's with fun. Goes to die. Now the Chicago flag, you've seen it all over town. It's got the 2 blue stripes that represent our bodies of water, Lake Michigan and the Chicago River. The 3 white stripes which represent the land masses divided by the Chicago River. So north side, south side on one side. And the 4 red stars, each one represents an important historic event. First star, Fort Dearborn. Second star, Ksenia Fire. Third star, World Columbia Expedition, the first World Fair. And the fourth star, Century Progress, the second World Fair. So if you don't remember it, it's the 4 F's. Fort, Fire, Fair, Fair. Additionally, each point on the star is symbolic, but I'm not very good at memorizing. You have to look that up in the room. So the fifth star, we're going to add as Chicago was chosen host 2016 Summer Olympics, that bid with Rio de Janeiro. Some people feel we should have added it to the Cubs at the World Series, so we should have had it with F, finally. But the White Sox fans would have thrown a fit. When we're getting ready to approach the dock, we asked that we give an adult beverage. It's time to play the Mandela drinking game, Chuck It or Chuck It. This boat might go to New Orleans. We are not in New Orleans. You cannot bring your beers off the boat. We ask that everyone disembark with alacrity. It's my favorite word in the joyful Christmas. We also ask that everyone remain seated to the entire docking process. Now, on behalf of the captain, the crew, and everyone here at Mandela, we really want to thank you because we love what we do. And if people like you didn't go for Mandela boat rides, we wouldn't get paid to ride boats. Thank you very much. You guys have been amazing. Enjoy the rest of the